Some people are absolutely losing their minds over this new Simpsons season that's coming to Fortnite, you guys, and some of them are actually like full on raging about this season before it has even dropped yet. So Fortnite Simpsons season just keeps getting crazier, you guys, and we're about 12 or so days away from the reveal of this brand new season. If you guys don't know, yesterday we found out that a full on Springfield map is coming for just a month in November, but now new leaks today revealed that the entire map might actually be cel shaded, like all of the graphics in totality, and the community is kind of going wild over this in kind of a balanced, mixed way. Some people are really upset and some people are cautiously optimistic. We talked yesterday about how Springfield is officially going to be the next map, and the Chapter 3 map is not returning despite some of the early leaks and theories, unfortunately. But the biggest surprise came earlier today when we found out that the entire graphics are going to have a complete overhaul, kind of looking either stylized like cartoon-like visuals or the cel shading that we know in Fortnite. Now, this is probably going to be the biggest visual leap that Fortnite has ever made, and a lot of people are completely split with this. Some absolutely love it, but some think it's going to ruin the game. Some people actually saying that Fortnite is going to die for this month. So today we're going to look at how people are reacting to this, what they're saying, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on whether this is actually a good idea and why I think a lot of you should be excited for this season and at least give it a chance if you're worried about it not being fun. So as you guys know, The Simpsons is a cartoon, and many times when we get cartoon skins inside of Fortnite, they will be cel shaded. And for some reason, a lot of people do not like the cel shaded variations of skins. I think they look really good on a select number of skins, like with Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. I really don't think they look that good, but with, you know, the pen and ink styles of skins and things like that, and other skins in the game, I think they actually do look pretty well. Like the anime skins and things, I think those actually look pretty well inside of Fortnite. I kind of expected them to do this, and I really hope that they would actually commit 100% to new graphics for our kind of cartoon art style of this new season, but this instantly made people think of other times where we've had kind of cel shaded POIs in Fortnite, and one of the only ones I can think of is the Pandora POI from Chapter 1 Season X. Now this was one of those kind of anomaly locations where they changed a location into this because there was all types of, you know, realities collapsing in on the Chapter 1 map. Now that cel shaded kind of Borderlands area looked like a completely different game, but if you guys remember, and if you didn't play then you may not know, a lot of people really did not like this POI. I specifically thought it was really cool, but a lot of people thought it hurt their eyes, it just didn't look good, or it didn't fit well in Fortnite. Of course, back then it didn't really fit in well because it didn't really match the kind of jagged aesthetic of the Chapter 1 map, but now I think if the map is kind of built around those graphics, I think it could look pretty good. Now, of course, you guys, this could be a bit of a misinterpretation. Of course, when the leakers say that next season is going to be fully cel shaded, that could mean a few different things. You know, full on cel shaded could mean like thick outlines, more flat colors, kind of like how we see Toon Meowsos or the Spider-Verse skins, things like that. Now, that is a full on cel shaded thing, and I could definitely see why a lot of people wouldn't like that. But the other option is kind of a lighter, more kind of dumbed down version that just gives everything a more kind of stylized, animated feel. Something new entirely that we haven't actually seen inside of Fortnite. Of course, when you actually watch cartoons, they're not really fully cel shaded like how we see skins are in Fortnite. In my opinion, I think this will honestly end up just being a more cartoony looking vibe, kind of like what we see here. Now, this is a concept, a UEFN map that was made by someone. I actually do not know the creator, so I do apologize, but this is what his looked like. And honestly, you guys, I think this may end up being what this looks like, just trying to kind of envelop us in this kind of cartoon reality. I think this is all they need to do. I don't think this is too much. I don't think it's really bad on the eyes. I think it works pretty well, actually. So just for a quick question for you guys, if it actually did end up looking like this, do you think it would be bad? Would you be okay with it being like this? Let me know down below in the comments. Of course, we're not going to truly know until the trailer comes out or until the gameplay comes out or when the season actually does release. We may not even know. We will just have to wait and see, but there is kind of some nuance to this new graphic style. Now, honestly, you guys, I've wanted Fortnite to do something big like this for a while, something that really changes how the game looks. If they can pull this off in a way that still feels natural and really envelops us in this world, I think a lot of people are going to end up loving it once they're in game, because when is Fortnite ever going to have an opportunity to do something like this with the graphics ever again? If it ends up being good, it's going to go down as one of the most unique seasons that we've ever had. They've been working on this for absolutely months, and Fortnite Epic Games wouldn't take a risk like this unless they were confident that it would look good and people would like it. Like, Fortnite works on these seasons years in advance. Like, it just got revealed today that Fortnite is playtesting Chapter 7 Season 2 and the first mini-season of Chapter 7. So they've been working on this for a long time, especially with a brand new map and an overhaul of the graphics. They have to think that it will be good. But in terms of what the actual community thinks, of course on Twitter there were all types of people saying that it's going to kill the game, that they're not going to be playing, or that Reload and OG are going to have record player counts because everyone's going to abandon BR. But I actually wanted to hear directly from you guys, so I asked on my community tab, I told people that the season graphics will be cel shaded, and I asked them, how are you feeling about this season right now? With everything that we know, are you excited? What do you think? Now, thank you to everybody who responded to these, but I picked out a few here. As you can see, this person said, I'm a little nervous, not going to lie. This might be really hard on the eyes for some. Also, I just thought of this, since the entire graphics are going to be cel shaded, would it be an advantage to run cel shaded skins? Overall, I'm pretty excited, but I can see this not being for people who have no connection with the show, and I completely understand that. That's something I actually hadn't even thought about. If cel shaded skins kind of blend in better, we might see people using those more competitively, but I do get the concern overall. If it's too bright or hard on the eyes, that could turn a lot of people off. A lot of what brings people to Fortnite is kind of the cartoony vibe, and I think honestly, like I said in my last video, this would be the best kind of situation for Fortnite to have, where it's like an ultimate cartoon map, and a lot of people have asked for more cartoony graphics. I really do think that Epic's smart enough to kind of tune the visuals properly. It'll probably be stylized, but not too overwhelming. I definitely think Fortnite would think, hey, if people use like cel shaded skins and they look exactly the same as the environment, they may blend in. So hopefully they did think about that while they were developing the graphics. Now, this person right here said cautiously optimistic. The theming isn't personally for me, and I fear that it'll lead to the lowest amount of players we've ever seen, but I'm hopeful the gameplay is fun. We'll definitely have a lot more variety than the Star Wars blasters. That is absolutely for sure. There's definitely no really like realm for recycled content here, because we haven't seen, you know, a Simpsons event every year for the last 4 years like we had with Galactic Battle, but I think that's totally fair. The Simpsons theme, I think it's fair to say, is definitely kind of niche at this point. The Simpsons really isn't as relevant as it used to be. Not everyone is going to connect to that world, but at least they are trying something different. If the gameplay and the map design are solid, that will matter more to me than the theme, and I think a lot of people feel the same. I feel like Fortnite's collab mini seasons have always been hit or miss, you know what I mean? Galactic Battle was the same way. It had a lot of hype for a little while, then cooled off fast because of the repetition. Hopefully they learned from that for sure. Now, this is the last one I picked out here. He said, I don't really know The Simpsons, and so I assume a good bunch of other people have only heard of them, which I guess that's fair. I think this season could rather be very good or go down in flames. It all depends on how players respond to it, and if they can make it fun for everyone, whether if they know The Simpsons or not. And I think that's a very accurate comment. That right there, I feel like sums up the entire conversation. This could either be one of the most fun seasons Fortnite's ever done. Genuinely, I do think that, or it could just flop because it doesn't appeal beyond Simpsons fans, which I don't really know how many Simpsons fans are out there, to be honest, but I actually think that Fortnite knows this. That's why they're going so hard with the visuals, maybe even tying it in with the lore, because we're going to have 2 events. They want this to be memorable for everyone, not just kind of fans of the show, and I think they understand that. It's interesting. When this leak first dropped a few months ago, you guys, almost everyone hated the idea. Even me, I was like, there's no way they're actually going to do that. But lately, I feel like it's become more balanced now that we're getting more information. There's still definitely a lot of negativity. A lot of people aren't fans of it and they're not excited for it, and that's perfectly fine. If you're not excited for it, then you don't have to play, but I would urge you to give it a chance. I feel like more people are starting to say, hey, you know, maybe this could actually work. People seem to be overall warming up to the idea, which I think is good. Now, personally, you guys, I'm also cautiously optimistic. I get the worries 100%, but I've got a really good feeling about this one. I feel like they've really been nailing crossovers lately, and every time they go all in, whether it's OG Fortnite or now The Simpsons, it usually ends up being way more fun than expected. And this is something I wanted them to do, is commit to a theme, take a risk, and there's still a lot that we don't know. We haven't seen gameplay, we don't know the exact POIs, or what the story connection is at all, but Fortnite always seems to hide something special for the event or the launch and things like that. Now, I really hope that there is a lore explanation too, like the dark presence punishing us for entering the spirit realm. That'd make this whole thing even better. It's risky and ambitious, and if they pull it off, it'll be one of Fortnite's most creative moves ever, in my opinion. It's not very often, you guys, that Fortnite gives us a brand new map, completely new graphics, and maybe even new gameplay mechanics, because The Simpsons is a completely different realm that we've never seen in Fortnite before. They're not going to do that lightly. They clearly believe that this season will work, and hopefully that gives you guys some peace of mind before it comes out. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Are you excited or worried about The Simpsons season? Do you think the art style will look good? Let me know. If you want to hear more about what this could mean for the event and the next chapter of Fortnite in totality, check out my other videos where I go in depth on those topics. They will be linked on screen here and in the description. No matter what happens, it's going to be wild to see how Fortnite pulls this off, but if you guys did enjoy, please do drop a like. You watched all the way to the end, you must have enjoyed, so drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. I make videos like these every single day. Use code PROZEROYT, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.